Live from the news station. Fox 35 News at 10 starts now.
A slugfest for the White House is in the final round. President Trump versus Joe Biden.
A presidential election like we've never seen before.
We have not seen voter intensity like this ever.
People voting in record numbers. The results are pouring in.
Because it's you who decides 2020.
The fight for Florida coming down to the wire tonight. Good evening and welcome to our special election coverage. I'm Luann Sorrell.
I'm Charles Belay. President Trump's lead here is growing. Let's take a look at the latest numbers.
Florida is still close. President Trump is currently leading with 51%. Biden trailing with 48%. 97% of precincts here in Florida are now reporting. Now, these numbers are holding very close to our latest Fox 35 Insider Advantage poll released just yesterday afternoon.
Our team of reporters is working every angle across Central Florida, and we are talking with the winners, tracking the numbers, and even covering some technical issues tonight.
We start tonight with the race for the White House, President Donald Trump versus former Vice President Joe Biden. Here is a look at the latest electoral college results. Joe Biden is leading President Trump 129 to 109 right now. But remember, 270 is the number needed to win. Fox 35's Heather Gustafson is keeping a very close eye on this race for us. She joins us live in the Fox 35 Election Alert Center.
Heather, here's the question. Some big dominoes have already fallen, but any surprises?
Charles, yeah, big dominoes falling. A lot of big states have already been called, but some big swing states are still up for grabs, so we might see some surprises tonight. We have this handy-dandy, up-to-date U.S. map, and I want to start looking at the states over here, starting with Pennsylvania, as the votes continue to be tallied and continue coming in. For now, I'm reporting live in the Fox 35 Election Alert Center. Heather Gustafson, Fox 35 News.
Heather, thank you. We'll see you in a bit. A lot of people voted early or by mail, which means officials got a head start on counting ballots.
Let's get out to Fox 35's Robert Guadarrama. He is live in Orange County tonight with more on that. Robert.
Charles, Luann, the early voting numbers and vote by mail numbers that we saw, really record-breaking numbers this year, really helped to take the pressure off of those polling locations as we saw today because, of course, a lot of people voted early, and so there weren't as many large crowds out the polls today. Also, kind of helping take some of the pressure off here in Florida, the supervisor of elections were able to start counting those early voting ballots and mail-in ballots a few weeks ago, so that contributed to, of course, tonight, the numbers being reported rather quickly. Now, take a look at the vote by mail drop-off here earlier today in Orange County at the elections office. 74% of voters casting a ballot in this election. 600,000 people voted in Orange County, or more than 600,000, and that's a new record for a general election here. Let's listen to the supervisor of elections on how today went. Reporting live in Orange County, I'm Robert Guadarrama, Fox 35 News.
Robert, thank you. Internet issues impacting election results in Osceola County.
Fox 35's Valerie Boy has the latest on that.
Well, right now I am at a watch party, but unfortunately the results haven't come in yet because the supervisor of elections here in Osceola County says the Wi-Fi is down at the elections office. Now, Mary Jean Arrington says all precincts are driving in the ballot machines to upload in the office. She says they were able to get early voting and mail ballots in, but none of the precinct results. According to Arrington, they've been waiting on Spectrum for at least 2 hours. Some sites are at least 60 miles away. She says they can manually put the results in and upload without Wi-Fi, then put directly onto the website, and they're working hard to get those results in quickly. In Osceola County, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
Seminole County going blue. You heard Heather talk about that. Not by much, though. Biden taking it by about 3 points. The county going blue is a big shock for the fight for the Sunshine State. Fox 35's Lara Greenberg. She is there live right now. She's at a Republican gathering in Lake Mary. Lara.
Well, good evening, Charles. People here were pretty disappointed when that news came through. Of course, as you mentioned, Biden winning Seminole County 50% to 47% by a margin of about 7,000 votes. So it's pretty close, but it did happen. And that's something that we've been following this entire race, this entire election year. It's a big deal because historically, Seminole County has gone red. The county voted majority for Trump in 2016, but we did see signs of it turning blue in 2018 in the governor's race and the U.S. Senate race. Seminole County Democrats say this is a result of more people moving to the county and new registered voters who are young and Democrat. But tonight, the GOP is touting the 8 local races that they did win. Live tonight in Seminole County, Lara Greenberg, Fox 35 News.
A big surprise there, Lara. Thank you. Democratic Congresswoman Val Demings heading back to D.C. for a second term. She defeated Republican challenger Vania Francois tonight. And it was an early night for the Demings campaign as the results came in quickly. Demings ending up with 64% of the vote. And Demings was one of the lawmakers who led the push to impeach President Trump.
Fox 35's Holly Bristow joining us live tonight with her message to supporters in Orlando. Holly, she's very excited to be headed back to Congress for another term.
She certainly is, Charles. She took to the podium here about an hour and a half ago, surrounded by her family, and she did look genuinely excited to be elected back into the United States House of Representatives for a third term. For now, reporting live in downtown Orlando, Holly Bristow, Fox 35 News.
Holly, thank you. Coming up next on Fox 35 News, You Decide 2020, we are getting live reaction from you, the voters.
Our diverse panel of voters from around Central Florida reacting live to the results coming in as we watch Florida play a key role in the race for the White House.
Wednesday at 5, college kids donating plasma for extra cash.
Kind of free money.
Fox 35 investigates how recovering from COVID can translate to big bucks for donors.
You could earn up to $700.
Why plasma plus COVID equals liquid gold.
Definitely the market is growing.
Cashing in on COVID. Wednesday on Fox 35 News at 5. Fox 35 News is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan.
And we are tracking the tropics, too, on this election night. It looks like Hurricane Ida now weakening as it works its way into Central America. But long-term, latest forecast models do bring it up towards Florida. I'll have much more on that coming up.
Experience amazing. Visit us today at LexusOfOrlando.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your voice and your vote.
The night is still young, but a lot has already happened, and we want your take on it. Fox 35 anchor Stephen Houck joining us live tonight. And Stephen, you got the pulse of the voters tonight.
That's what we have been doing throughout the evening. If you haven't met our panel, let me introduce you to them. On the far left, we got Abraham, his big smile, Kyla, her beautiful smile, and Adam, a nice grin as well. Thank you guys for continuing to stay with us. Abraham, Kyla, Adam, thank you so much again throughout the evening for your take and just your opinion as we follow the continued numbers here for election night. Now back over to Studio A.
Thanks to you all. Coming up here on Fox 35 News, You Decide 2020. The rural vote has a lot of weight here in the Sunshine State.
And it's not just the White House up for grabs. We could see a change in the Senate, too.
Welcome back. A live look right now in Washington, D.C. Protesters gathering at Black Lives Matter Plaza right near the White House. This protest has been mostly peaceful, but there was a scuffle just before 10 o'clock, and one person was detained. Taking another look tonight at the latest electoral college results, Joe Biden still in the lead, 129 to 109 over President Trump. And remember, 270 is the number needed to win the White House. Voter registration and turnout way up in Lake County this year.
Fox 35's Stephanie Buffamonte is live in Howey in the Hills tonight with what motivated all the people to turn out. Stephanie.
We're outside of JB Boondock's Bar and Grill. This is where they're holding the Lake County Republican Watch Party. Take a look at our video. You can see people are watching the TVs, eagerly waiting for results as they come in. Lake County seeing a record number turnout at 80%. And there is an increase in registered voters this election. Since 2016, there has been a 17% increase in registered voters in Lake County. The Lake County Supervisor of Elections tells me voters were eager this election.
Stephanie, thank you. Still ahead on Fox 35 News, You Decide 2020.
Winning the White House will come down to the swing states. We have a closer look at the numbers nationally ahead.
You're watching Fox 35 News at 10:30.
Welcome back, everybody. The race for the White House is a dogfight.
Yeah, and it is far from over tonight. The Electoral College count has not changed since we last checked. Joe Biden still leading President Trump 129 to 109. 270 is the number needed to win the White House, and we're still waiting on many of the swing states to be called. Fox 35's Heather Gustafson has been monitoring those states all night long.
Heather, you can cut the tension tonight with a knife.
You can cut it with a knife. You can also look right down the center. 270, that's the magic number right now, needed to win this presidential election. So we have our up-to-date map that we've been monitoring throughout the evening.
Heather, thank you for that update tonight. Well, it's not just a battle for the White House. The Senate is also up for grabs. Right now, Republicans hold the majority, 53 to 47 senators, plus the vice president. Democrats have flipped one seat so far, John Hickenlooper winning in Colorado, but they still need to flip 3 more seats to take control of the Senate, or just 2 seats if Joe Biden wins tonight. But a big race just called. Senator and Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham will keep his seat, beating out Democratic challenger Jamie Harrison in South Carolina.
You Decide 2020, it's your voice that will help shape the next 4 years. And we've assembled a panel of experts to help us break down everything that we have seen tonight. Fox 35 anchor Stephen Houck joining us live once again tonight with that. Stephen?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know our panel, let me introduce them to you. We have conservative radio host Carl Jackson. We have political analyst John Martinez. We have Democratic analyst Carol Cox. Thanks for being with us for the past several hours. I know each of you have multiple sources you're looking at, kind of gauging what's been happening. John, we'll start with you. All right. Thank you to all of you, Carl, John, Carol. Thank you so much. Always great input from the experts. We appreciate it. Now back over to Luann and Charles.
Yeah, just to be clear, Stephen, we are getting our results tonight from Fox News. We are not calling these states ourselves. So just so you know, we're getting it from the mothership. And when they call it, you'll be the first to know. Well, several constitutional amendments on the ballot here in Florida, including raising the minimum wage. We'll take a look at those coming up.
Plus, Osceola and Seminole counties picking new sheriffs tonight. Results and reaction up next. Stay with us.
Good Tuesday evening. It's Kristen Giannis here with your I-forecast. So they're going to be shutting down the 408 westbound ramps to I-4 eastbound and I-4 westbound. So starting at 11 o'clock at night and going until tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. What you're going to have to do as an alternate, if you are traveling westbound on the 408, is exit at exit number 83. That's the exit for South Street. Take that either to Garland. Garland will get you back onto I-4 eastbound, or you can take that South Street ramp onto I-4 westbound. And remember, you can always check out traffic and construction updates on our Fox 35 weather app. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Good Day Orlando starting at 4 o'clock.
The Fox 35 News app is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
Welcome back, everybody. Social media has been blowing up all day over the election.
It's the only thing people are talking about today. Stephen Houck is back live in Studio B with more on this. Hey, Stephen.
Yeah, we're living in the era of social media for sure. It's been a tale of 2 hashtags, Trump 2020 versus Biden 2020. Everyone chiming in with their support today. I want to show you a heat map here. All the reds you see on your screen, people tweeting hashtag Trump 2020. You see a lot of red there across the country. For comparison, take a look at this. All the blue are the people tweeting hashtag Biden 2020. A lot of people also tweeting that out. Earlier today, some notable names tweeting out their support. Ivanka Trump tweeting out this video of her father saying the president's dancing was a big election day mood. Rapper Common sharing his performance with singer John Legend at the Democratic National Convention with the simple caption, "We will win." More recently tonight, some more tweets rolling in. This one from Fox Nation host Tommy Lauren talking about the tight race here in Florida, saying, "Let's go." Finally, singer Cher, who said that she's been volunteering for the Biden campaign, says they feel positive today because, quote, happiness is just a thing called President Joe. We'll, of course, be keeping an eye online for you and the polls as more numbers and tweets roll on in. We're live in Studio B. Stephen Houck, Fox 35 News.
Stephen, thank you. And taking a look now at the Osceola County Sheriff's race. History was made tonight.
Osceola County will have the first Hispanic sheriff in that county's history. Fox 35's Valerie Boy reports.
Well, for the first time in history, there is now a Latina sheriff in Osceola County, and his name is Marco Lopez. Marco, tell me, what is it like to be winning here?
Well, I'm very excited. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, making history is something that I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and says we're going to make history. I think my main goal was to get out and provide a better customer service for our diverse community and have them represented the way they should be represented.
And you beat the incumbent, Russ Gibson. Tell me, what was that like back in the primary for you?
That was an awesome feeling. You know, he fired me saying I had no constitutional rights to run against the seat of sheriff. And I remember that day we walked out of his office. I told him we'll be swapping seats November 3rd, and sure enough, looks like we will be.
Right. And to be fair, by law, you're supposed to resign when you run against the sheriff.
To resign to run law.
Yes. And so what do you plan to do now that you're a sheriff?
Well, you know, we're going to work on that Community Advisory Review Board and definitely implement some de-escalation training with mental health and a Veterans Liaison Department. We got a lot of veterans that are relocating here to Osceola County, and, you know, they need to get something. We need to give something back to those who sacrifice everything for this country.
All right, well, thank you very much, and congratulations. All right, so last year, I have to tell you, Marco was actually hailed a hero after he revived a woman who collapsed outside the tax collector's office. So that's another neat story. In Osceola County, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
Okay, let's talk a bit about some of the local races now. And this was a big one. The race for Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lima wins 58% to 42% over Paul Spike Hopkins. Fox 35's Lara Greenberg has been following this race for us. She joins us live in Seminole County today. A lot of surprises, Lara.
A lot of surprises here, but, you know, maybe Dennis Lima not so much of a surprise because he has been the sheriff here since 2017. He showed up to this party here, the GOP watch party in Seminole County, late tonight, and we did get to talk to him, congratulate him on his win, and ask him how he was feeling. He said, obviously, he's feeling good. He also, it was interesting, said that it was good to be up against someone like Spike Hopkins because he's a man who's legitimate with a lot of law enforcement experience, and it was nice to know that it was a fair fight between the two, and now he's excited to just move past all of this and continue moving forward with his agenda starting tomorrow. For now, live in Seminole County, Lara Greenberg, Fox 35 News.
Nice job, Lara. Thank you. Let's talk about Amendment 2. It is one of the most highly debated amendments on the ballot, the Fight for 15. If passed, the state's minimum wage would increase incrementally until reaching $15 per hour in 2026. If it fails, the current plan remains in place where the minimum wage is adjusted annually. Right now, the yes votes have 61%. Fox 35 Samantha Sosa is joining us live tonight.
Good evening, Sam.
Hey, good evening, guys. I've spent the night at a watch party at Orlando Brewing. The party winding down just a little bit right now, but a lot of these people are essential workers, people in the hospitality industry, fast food workers, people who are fighting for that $15 minimum wage. Tonight, they're celebrating Amendment 2, which would gradually raise the state's minimum wage to $15 an hour over the next 6 years. Definitely on the path to passing. I'm live in Orlando right now. Samantha Sosa, Fox 35 News.
Samantha, thank you. The Seminole County tax collector's race put in the spotlight after the resignation of Joel Greenberg.
Let's take a look at this graphic here. Jeff Kroll wins this with 54% over Lynn Dichter, who had 46%.
State Representative Anna Escamani beating out her Republican competitor. She won with 59% of the vote. Fox 35's Holly Bristow joining us live tonight with more on that race.
Holly, there has been a lot going on. Orange County has been busy with a lot of congressional races. What say you?
Well, this has been a race that people have really kept a close eye on. That's because the race between Anna Escamani, she's the incumbent, and she was racing against Jeremy Sisson. Escamani had taken over her seat from a Republican back in 2018, and that seat had been occupied by a Republican for quite some time, so it was really unclear as to how this was going to go and if a Republican was going to take the seat back. But as you mentioned, Escamani keeping the seat with 59% of the votes. Her platform has always been to make life better for Central Florida families. She spent a lot of time since COVID-19 pandemic hit helping Central Floridians fight their battles with the state's broken unemployment system. We're now reporting live in downtown. Holly Bristow, Fox 35 News.
Holly, thank you. Fox 35 coverage of You Decide 2020 continues.
Next stop, Volusia County. The race for county chair drew a lot of attention during the campaign. More on that race up next.
But first, the Fox 35 Pump Patrol. Gas is $1.99 at the 7-Eleven near the intersection of Colonial and Edgewater in Orlando.
Fox 35 weather, brought to you in part by the Orlando Sentinel.